Hello again. If you've been watching these videos, you probably realise three things. Firstly, artists don't draw out of the head, so you don't draw out of your head. There's nothing worth drawing in there. The second thing is that you have to really look hard at something. And the third thing is you have to relax and you've got to give yourself time to locate the arty bit in your brain. Now, one way of doing that is doing something that we call a scribble drawing. And I'm going to get you to do this with a ballpoint pen. The reason being, you more often than not will have a ballpoint pen in your hand because maybe you're doing a shopping list or something. You probably won't often have a pencil. So we can do this with a ballpoint pen and you won't be tempted to rub it out because you won't be able to. So again, drawing board, scrappy bit of paper, and I just want you to get a pot plant and I just want you to relax. Just relax. You're not after an accomplished drawing. This is about the process, not the result. And I want you to go straight in the middle. I'll have to put my glasses on. So I'm going to go straight in there and I will start by, remember, keep your hand right back and I will start doing lots of pentimenti. I'm actually just drawing this leaf here, so just do that and it comes around a bit like that. I'm not going to take my hand off. Don't take your hand off because this is a scribble, it's a continuous drawing. And then I'm going to start doing a bit of this leaf. Now it's got a kind of a lovely wiggly kind of edge there. And it comes kind of round like that. Now, 90% of my time, I'm looking at that. Only 10% of my time am I actually coming down and looking at this. But most of the time, I'm looking at that to see what that's doing. You'll end up with something really lovely and nice scribbly, which is that. You'll end up with something like that. And remember also there are these what we call negative shapes. There are shapes also which are in between the leaves. So if you want, you can just darken those a bit so that you are actually looking at the negative shape. So you're ending up with something like that. It doesn't have to be a great drawing. It's just really getting you into the process of relaxing and just having some fun. If it's a nice day, take a garden chair, sit in the garden with your ballpoint pen, whatever you've got available, and just draw a single plant. It doesn't have to be a pot plant. Right, when you've done that, I want you to get into the habit of doing what we call thumbnails. Now, thumbnails are these things here. So with a thumbnail, you just give yourself just an oblong or a square or whatever, but just a few centimetres, and you're going out and you're actually starting to look at something and draw little thumbnails of it. Now, the thing I'm actually wanting you to do is to look at something in the garden or something outside in the countryside which is man-made line against organic line, natural line, a combination of man-made and natural line. Now, I did that. Look, I looked at various gates, I looked at bits of fences, I tried a few ideas out, and look, I liked that one. I gave it a tick. That's the one I liked. So what I did, I then did a much more considered drawing. Here's my organic natural line, and here's my man-made line here. And I filled my paper with man-made and natural line. And of course, because we're drawing line, we're also drawing shape. Now, please don't name anything. The reason I'm saying that, here I've got something which ordinarily we would call a hill. If I think hill, I'm going to want to do that because that's what my pictogram of a hill is. If I see a tree there, I'm going to want to try and do that. So never ever name anything. Try not to name something because that is not a drawing and that is not a drawing. So you're just looking at shape and line. When you've done that, you'll end up with something like that. And I thought it might be quite nice for you so that you can realise what an artist actually does. An artist goes out and looks really hard at something, as I said, and does the drawing. Now the drawing might be an end to itself, but I thought just to give you a bit of fun to do, if you took the drawing that you've made, you could then with some felt pens or some crayons, or a lot of you do colouring in now, well this is forming your own colouring in sheet, and maybe colour in some of the shapes. Here I've done purples, here I've done yellows and oranges, greens and blues, very, very bright pink, and greeny blues. And it makes a really attractive painting, and it's something you have actually created yourself. You have started off the process, you've gone out, you've found something, you found line, you found shape, and you've actually turned it into something. So I'm going to leave you with that one, and I say go out into your garden or out into the countryside. One final thing though, because we're working 3 dimensions now, if you're looking through something, and obviously the things that you're seeing the hills and you're seeing fields or whatever, and they're in 3 dimensions. If you remember when I did the twig the other day, I did that. I sat there for quite a while, a good half a minute, and I just squinted. And when you squint, it flattens everything. It takes away the 3 dimension. Once you flatten something, you can then see it as a shape. So you need to get into the habit of really squinting at something before you draw it. Anyway, go and have some fun, and thank you for watching.